Remember the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? No, I'm not talking about the original. That's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm talking about the 2005 film with Johnny Depp. And look, we're not here to debate which one was better, but I gotta admit, I really enjoyed this movie as a kid. Having said that, throughout all my viewings of this movie, not once have I thought to myself, hey, they should really make a video game out of this. But sure enough, 3 different development studios made sure to drop this steamy pile of shit on 5 different platforms. Now, if you've watched the movie and haven't played the game, you might be surprised to learn that there even was a game. Well, you'd be more surprised to learn that the release date was literally just 5 days after the movie came out in theaters. But don't worry, I'm sure they didn't rush the game or anything.
This is the story of an ordinary little boy named Charlie Bucket. And though his family was terribly poor, Charlie was the luckiest boy in the world.
Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. No one's been in or out for years.
So you start the game, you play as Charlie, the broke little boy with no money for chocolate, but it just so happens that a $10 bill decides to lead you on a chase throughout the town. You end up falling off this tall building trying to grab the money. Oh no, what? It's right there! Grab it! And now you're sliding down the road, which is filled with garbage cans. And there isn't any garbage trucks to take the garbage cans, but there's a lot of Wonka trucks. Eventually, you catch the money just outside the candy store. You go to buy a Wonka bar, and what do you know? A golden ticket. Throughout the game, they have the narrator, just like in the movie. But unlike the movie, he sounds like he constantly has too much saliva in his mouth.
Charlie carried the ticket home to show his family as quick as his little legs could carry him.
Okay, well, maybe they just hired different voice actors, right? Actually, no. They got every single person from the movie to voice act for the game, except for Johnny Depp. And he sounds fine. So what the fuck happened to the narrator? Chapter 1, the Wonka Factory. So Charlie gets the golden ticket, and then he's just in the factory. No waiting behind the gates, no Willy Wonka song from the puppets, nothing. Okay, so what do you do now that you're in this awesome, one-of-a-kind factory? Do you eat any candy? No. Go on a quick tour with Willy Wonka and Grandpa Joe? No. Do a bunch of nonsense tasks to get Augustus Gloop's fat body out of the chocolate tube? Yes. Why is it my job to get him unstuck? Oh, and by the way, Willy Wonka, Grandpa Joe, and the rest of the gang, they just go on the remainder of the tour. We literally never see them in the game, except for Willy Wonka on some rare occasions. Okay, so what do you gotta do to help Augustus poop? Well, the Oompa Loompas are there to help you, and when you see them in the first cutscene, they're fast as shit, but then they're just slow and stupid. You're supposed to give them commands like follow me or work on this, but most of the time they just get stuck in a wall or they just start running in circles. And you need these non-singing little fuckers to do pretty much everything in the game. Yeah, that's right. They don't sing their little Oompa Loompa songs when any of the kids succumb to their fate by Willy Wonka's death traps. You gotta get 2 Oompa Loompas to jump on these, I don't even know what to call them, and the game never explains it. Actually, the game never explains anything. Every single word that comes out of Willy Wonka's mouth is just some tongue twister bullshit. So the Oompa Loompas jump on those buttons, and that somehow shoots Augustus up the tube. Then after that, Willy Wonka just tells you, hey, there's these things called Wonkavite in the trees. You get it by throwing everlasting gobstoppers at them. Pretty cool, right? And you're just like, sure, they're alright. So you go get one, and then what do? Well, you do what I did. Walk around aimlessly looking for a door or something, anything to progress in the game. Turns out you were supposed to keep catching these Wonkavites, which is a pain in the ass because they never stop jumping. And after like 10 of them, you progress to the next level. But no one ever told me that, so how was I supposed to know? So now you can go through the next door, where lo and behold, Augustus is still stuck, and it's your job to get him out. How are you gonna do it this time? Well, by throwing slime on Wonka bots, turning them into these slime balls, then throwing that into the injectors, and that somehow powers the tube? You know, just like in the movie. Oh, that wasn't in the movie? Okay, you do whatever the fuck that was. Now, you gotta do it again. Put in, throw it in. Okay, one more time. Good job. That was fun for him? Chapter 3, Wonka Bot Trouble. What happened to Chapter 2? I don't know, the game never shows anything about Chapter 2. Either way, now we gotta deal with the next kid's problems. Who the fuck is this? Rhett from Good Mythical Morning?
Good Mythical Morning!
Anyways, this kid decides to rewire the robots, and I guess now they're hostile or something. Who the fuck knows? So now you're in a whole new level, but oh yeah, you still gotta help Augustus Gloop with that fucking pipe of shit. Then you have to move all these cannons that shoot balls out of them into this big hole in order to open a door door that has 10 Wonka bots trying to kill you. Now I really want to drive this point home. In every single area of the chocolate factory, there's either broke components that require you to have the Oompa Loompas fix it, or to progress, you need to complete some kind of enigma-riddled task that will literally give you a headache, all just to open a fucking door, where even more of this bullshit lies beyond. It's really no wonder that no one has come in or out of the factory since Grandpa Joe worked there. This place is a fucking hazard, and that golden ticket was a bigger scam than BitConnect. I literally just won a chance at fixing a factory the size of a small city, and I'm doing it for free. Okay, you killed the robots, and now we're on to the next level, which is right back at the starting level. There's some really great scenery here. What task does Willy Wonka have for us this time? A bunch of boxes that we gotta fill up with candy by having the Oompa Loompas cut down trees, grab the candy, and then drop it in the box. At first, it seems easy enough, right? Yeah, I thought so too, until you realize just how bad the Oompa Loompas are programmed. So you fill all those boxes up, then you get a piece of gum that you can blow up under your ass. Now you gotta use that bubblegum ass ball to climb up the building to turn the chocolate fountain back on. And Augustus Gloop finally comes flying out.
Yes, he's out of the pipes. No, he's back in the river.
Back in the river. What did you think was gonna happen? He was gonna start fucking flying? Now instead of riding that awesome boat down the chocolate river, the boat literally moves for 3 frames and then you're loaded into the next stage. Why not turn the whole boat scene into its own little minigame? I guess that would have been too much fun. So now we gotta go to the room where that gum is made that turns Violet into a blueberry. Okay, so now we gotta fix that problem, right? No, you actually have to make the sheep in the room follow you so you can make cotton candy out of them, because that is somehow the mechanism used to open the next door. Makes sense. Now you have to go through like 4 levels that are pretty much all the exact same, and you just gotta keep repairing broken shit so you can open the next door. Finally, you make it into the juicing room, and you have to physically push Violet into the juicer. And that seemingly simple task took me about 10 minutes. Okay, now we're in chapter 5. What happened to 4? Good question. In this chapter, we gotta save Veruca Salt after the squirrels threw her down the garbage chute. Are these little shit-looking pixels supposed to be nuts? So you gotta make your way towards the back of this nut factory, and then you gotta use your crystal candy to turn into a ball, hit this big tree, and knock the squirrels onto the floor. Then you gotta knock them unconscious and have the Oompa Loompas put them into this box. But you see, there's one big problem with this whole situation. These are actually the deadliest little fucking squirrels known to man. If they jump on you, they start ravaging your body, and you can't do anything about it. You just have to wait there until they're done biting you to death. So while you're trying to do all of this bullshit, you also gotta evade their attacks or you're dead. Okay, so you gotta put 10 squirrels in the box. Now you gotta do this all over again on the other side of the factory, but with 15 squirrels. After that, everything is back in order, at least in this part of the factory. Now you gotta save Veruca, or whatever her name is, from the garbage chute. After saving her, you get to maybe the worst or second worst stage in the entire game. It's the soda fizz room. Nobody tells you what to do. You just gotta keep hitting these platforms and hope you jump at the right time to get onto the next platform. That way you can command the Oompa Loompas to follow you. But then how the fuck did they get up there in the first place? Anyways, after that, Willy Wonka finally gives you the soda fizz potion that allows you to fly, which sounds pretty cool, but God, the controls are so awful. You can only descend. So if you want to get somewhere really high, which is usually what you have to do, you gotta wait like 9 seconds for Charlie to float up there. And there's times when the soda fizz will just stop working and you plummet to the ground. Now you gotta pick up the Oompa Loompas, fly them to the next room, keep going back and forth just fixing shit. And then there's even more squirrels that you have to put into boxes. 15 squirrels later, you get to this room, and I forgot what it's called. But you gotta kill more Wonka bots, and then you gotta get to the next room by avoiding this rainbow toxin. And the whole concept wasn't a bad idea if the hitboxes weren't so fucking bad. This rainbow shit can hit you from like a mile away. This entire room is just a nightmare. You literally have to transport like 10 Oompa Loompas all to different spots. The robots are trying to kill you, and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. But whatever it is, you gotta do it again on the other side. But for some reason, while I was playing, the other door wouldn't open for like 20 minutes. Finally, after restarting the game twice, it opens. Now you may be wondering, what do you get after all this hard work? Well, you get a fucking glass button for an elevator. Thanks, Mr. Wonka. How about a different form of currency that would help me feed my family? You know, so we don't have to eat cabbage soup every day of our lives. Okay, now we're on to chapter 6, Mike Teavee. Now this is actually the most godforsaken, heart-wrenching, diabolical series of nonsense shit stage in the entire game, or any games I've played for that matter, and I'm gonna explain why. So in this chapter, Willy Wonka makes another fucking invention that allows him to send chocolate through TVs, and this little kid Mike thinks that it's a teleporter. So he goes goes in and now he's stuck. And it's of course my job to get him out. First of all, this TV room is so fucking poorly designed. I get that in the movie it's also purely white, but in here, the graphics were so bad that there isn't one shadow, so you can't tell where a ramp is, for example. And the room is so small that I wasn't sure what I was supposed to even do. I tried beaming myself up to the teleporter, but I just got trapped in there. After killing myself to get out, I re-examined the room, but there was nothing to do. Well, it turns out you have to go into the teleporter and use the soda fizz to float up. So why the fuck is it a teleporter if it can't teleport me anywhere? Okay, so you go up the tube, and now the shit show really begins. You have to get Wonkavite yet again from killing robots, and have the Oompa Loompas throw the Wonkavite into this rainbow thing in the middle. The first time is easy. You just need 2 Wonkavite and there's only 1 robot spawner and 1 Oompa Loompa. The second time you need 4 Wonkavite and there's 2 robot spawners, but it isn't as worst as the third time. The third time you need 5 Wonkavite and there's 3 robot spawners. But don't let that fool you, because now they can spawn like 3 robots out of 1 spawner. Well, I thought it was going to be easy because they give you like 10 Oompa Loompas. But once again, I forgot just how stupid these little asswipes are. You kill a robot, command them to get the Wonkavite, but then another robot grabs the Oompa Loompa that has the Wonkavite, so you kill that robot, the Wonkavite vanishes, then you kill another robot, command them to grab it, but now they're not in command mode anymore. They're just sitting around or doing push-ups. So you recommand them to follow you, get them to grab the Wonkavite, then they get fucking grabbed again. And it's a never-ending cycle. Okay, so let's protect them after they grab the Wonkavite. That's a good idea. So you kill a robot, they grab the Wonkavite, you hit every robot that gets close to them so they can't grab them, but now they just want to give the Wonkavite to you. They don't want to throw it in the fucking rainbow circle, but that's what they're supposed to do. I mean, why can't Charlie just pick up the Wonkavite himself? Why can't he pick up the squirrels either? By the grace of God, I somehow managed to finish this sewer stinking shit eating level, and then made it back to the TV room where I had to kill 30 more robots, and then finally rescue Mike. And that was the last level. Now we finally get into the elevator with Willy Wonka and fly into the sky. Who knows what happened to Grandpa Joe? Then we're told that Willy Wonka is gonna give us the factory. Well, maybe I don't want this shit fucking factory. I mean, the amount of things that need to be ran precisely for this shithole to work is outrageous. Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. More like Charlie in the Broke Factory or the Shit Factory. This entire game just feels like a chore. And it's no wonder my memories of playing it as a kid are so vague. Replaying this game just made me feel bad for making my parents buy this piece of shit.